My name is Jeff Dunn, and my 5 themes of talent are individualization, achiever, woo, empathy, and strategic.
So tell us how you were introduced to strengths and what your general impressions were when you switched to the assessment.
So I was introduced to StrengthsFinder through my work. My office, we really are proponents of playing to your strengths and playing to what you're good at. And so this StrengthsFinder assessment has really helped us to find what we're all naturally talented in. And so I took the assessment when I got on to the team, and I've implemented it for months now and just found so much growth in myself, in a professional environment and in a personal sense. With my actual strengths themselves, some of them were, I had read over the strengths beforehand, and I saw certain things that I knew I had. But my number one strength was almost foreign to me. It just surprised me. And I think that's because it comes so naturally that I never think about it. And so for someone to say, oh, this is what you're good at, it's like, I'm good at that? Isn't everyone good at that? And I realized, no, they're not. And it's something that's specific to me that I can play and I can use in my life.
So you were an MPC teacher. So go ahead and tell us that you taught the MPC and maybe name some of the struggles that you saw missionaries have and maybe like strengths to solve that problem.
So I taught at the Missionary Training Center for almost 2 years. And through that time, I saw a lot of missionaries come through. And they were great. They were capable, and they wanted to be there. They wanted to serve. I saw so many, though, struggle with the environment, with all this change. And I don't think it was because it was a new bed or a different food. I think it was because they were struggling with themselves, that their whole life they had prepared to serve a mission. And by doing that, it was them focusing on the gospel and on doctrine and reading, which is all great and all necessary. But I think it's so easy in that situation to forget to learn who you are, because when you understand who you are first, then you can reach so many people and help them identify truth in themselves, and with that truth in the gospel. And so I saw these missionaries come so prepared with scripture mastery, with a love of God and a desire to serve, yet they struggled to know what they were good at. So I would teach them these things, and I was confident in what I was teaching. And I would present a lesson in a certain way, I'd describe a topic, and I'd see them do the same thing. And I'd stop and say, wait, guys, why did you just say what I said? And they'd say, oh, well, that's what you're supposed to do. And I said, no, that's how I do it. I say it that way because of this. I express those thoughts because that's how I feel, but what are you good at? What do you want to say? And I just wanted them so much to teach and be the missionary who they were to be, not who I was. And that's because I have different strengths than they do. I wanted them to understand each missionary is called to a specific mission for a reason, that they are so different than any other missionary, and their unique themes and talents can turn into strengths to help the people they meet. And that's why we believe in inspired mission calls.
So maybe you could dive into specific elements of missionary work and how an awareness of strengths could help them to excel, like teaching or planning or contacting, and continue to emphasize that authenticity, your unique approach can be reflected to your strengths to be successful in those areas.
So, okay.
And you could reflect back on your mission and say, man, if I would have known that this was, I could have known this is how I approached it, I could have been more deliberate, or I could maybe do something different, and I wanted to be like that, but I realized you could do it different. I don't know. You want to approach it.
Yeah.
How you take the right focus.
Okay. So with missionary work, there's a phrase, plan, study, teach. And basically it kind of divides the missionary work into this cycle that you're going to plan for investigator, and then you're going to study, and then you'll teach them. And then after you teach, you're going to go back and plan again. And it's this endless cycle of missionary work. And I think that breaks it down into 3 key components of what you do as a missionary. And with that, I think there are different strengths that play into each role. One of my strengths is strategic, and I'm a planner. If you look right now in my backpack, you'll see that I have a daily schedule, that I wake up at this time, I have this time to eat, and I'm very, very organized. And some companions will get frustrated. They'd say, Elder Dunn, why are we doing this? Can't we just go and do things? And I say, yeah, we can, but for me, I think if we have a plan, if we do these things, then this will happen. And I was playing to my strength. And it was not something that I realized that was something I was good at, it's just what I did. And for them, it kind of caused some contention because they didn't understand why I was doing that. And at the same time, I was frustrated that they wouldn't want to do that they wanted to do something else. They just wanted to go and have preparation, but do different things. And if I would have understood their strengths, that they brought different things than I could, then we would have had such a closer companionship. And with how we work with investigators, I noticed different companions, how they interacted with investigators just through my mission. And it was always intriguing to me to notice those differences, but I didn't understand why. And I look back and think that these natural talents they had, these themes of talent that StrengthsFinder exploits, those are what led them to do that. And I think if I could have understood their strengths, then I would have helped them more, and it would have created this unified companionship, and it would have made it so much more efficient. For me personally, two of my strengths are individualization is my number one, and empathy. And that for me allows me to really connect with people, and when I meet them, to really try and understand how they feel, what they think, what they need. And I never really realized that. I mean, people have told me in different scenarios, oh, you have a gift of making people feel comfortable, or you just make people feel understood. And I never really understood why, and I never really believed them. And then when I started examining StrengthsFinder and having mentors and friends talk to me about it, I realized that I could do those things because of these natural talents that I had. And if I would have understood that more as a missionary, I would have played to that more. I probably would have connected more with the investigators. I would have been more bold and confident when I talked to people, because I knew I was good at it, and I was naturally good at it. And if I would have had a StrengthsFinder implementation earlier, a program, I could have known how to use those strengths more efficiently. Yeah.
What makes StrengthsFinder different from other assessments?
So StrengthsFinder is different from a lot of assessments because it doesn't just focus on what we're lacking, what we need to improve, what category we're a part of, and instead it plays to the individual factors that make us who we are. And actually on my mission, I had a companion who loved one of these personality tests, and he presented it in a group meeting, and I hated it because they put me into this category and said, oh, you are this kind of person, you get emotional, you hold grudges, you do these things. I'm like, do I? I don't know if I do. And it was frustrating. And I expressed, I don't like this personality test. He's like, well, you would, because that's your personality. That's your category. You would hate this kind of thing. And it made me more mad. And I look back, and of course I don't like it, because that's not why we're here. We're not here to just be set in this one category. There's not 7 billion people and 4 groups. There are so many different combinations of of what we can bring to each family, to each friend, to each situation. And StrengthsFinder focuses on what we're good at. I mean, you look at how you're going to have success in life. It's not going to be through fixing every little weakness. It's going to be through playing to what you naturally are energized by and what you're good at. StrengthsFinder focuses on that. And I know culturally it's odd to talk about your strengths, to talk about what you're talented at. But that's what the scriptures say. They say that we're given these natural talents. They say that we're given these gifts, and we should use them. We shouldn't hide them. But then we stand up and we speak to the people and we say, I shouldn't be speaking about this. I'm not good at this. And we're trying to be humble, but we're just ignoring these gifts that God has given us. And StrengthsFinder has helped me to realize that I can be confident and grateful for the talents that I have.
Cool. So just to finish up, somebody who has never taken the assessment and they ask you, like, why should I take the assessment? What good is it going to do for me? Just the bottom line, it's a lot. Strengths finder testimony.
I know.
You've been bearing it this whole time, like Holy Spirit. Exactly.
If someone came to me right now and said, why StrengthsFinder? Why do I need it in my life? I would tell them that it's made all the difference for me, and it has given me the confidence to connect with people. It's given me the understanding that it's okay if I'm not good at something. That doesn't mean I can't do it. It means that I can use what talents I do have to better that scenario that I am lacking. It's okay that I'm not interested in certain aspects of life or work environment or other things because they don't energize me. That's okay. StrengthsFinder will help you realize that there are things that will energize you and there are things that will not energize you. There are tasks that will make you thrive, and there are chores that will task you. And that's life. And if you learn how to manage that, you will find success and joy in everything that you do.